It was so stupid of me to do that. I'm such a failure. Hi guys, this is Kriti. Welcome back to Mindful Vibing, and today we are talking about self-talk. So what exactly is self-talk? Self-talk is that little pep talk that you give to yourself, especially when you are feeling low or when you are not able to achieve something or when you failed at something basically. So with me, what used to happen was whenever I used to fail at something, whenever I was not able to complete the task in the given timeline or not perform best at my best or not perform according to the standards that were set for me by other people, then I used to kind of do a negative self-talk to myself. Although I didn't know it was a negative self-talk that time because I was not very mindful about it. But now when I have analyzed myself, I introspected and I retrospected about my actions, then I realized that it was actually a very wrong thing to do. So there are certain words when I do the self-talk, like if I did something wrong, initially I used to say that, oh my god, I'm so stupid that I did that, or I'm such a failure and I was not able to achieve these things in my life. So what has happened over the years is that when I started analyzing the situation is whenever I say that I am such a stupid or I'm such a failure, then my brain starts reacting, it starts perceiving that thought and it starts reacting in a similar manner. So whenever the next time I do something small which was not right or which was a failure, no matter how small it is, my brain just triggers that emotion back in my mind that I'm such a failure, which is a very wrong thing for my personal growth. So I've started avoiding few words when I'm doing self-talk, and those words I'm going to share with you today so that you could also indulge into positive and mindful self-talk when it comes to yourself, because it ultimately defines your personality. So let's get started. The very first word that I've stopped using is never. Never kind of limits our imagination. So whenever we say I'm never going to try that, that means that we are limiting ourselves from a set of experiences that we could have experienced if we would have had that opportunity. But now we have confined ourselves from saying that I'm never going to try this. So those kind of experiences are not going to come to us. So I don't use never whenever I'm talking to myself. If I want to use a statement that includes that kind of a sentiment, then I use maybe, or I'll see to it when it comes. The second word that I avoid using is should. Should is a very harsh word because if I talk to myself like I should do this thing, then it comes to me as a compulsion. It creates a feeling of compulsion, and let's be honest, we all know nobody likes to do something if they are compelled to do that. So instead of using should, I use I can. So when I have to say I should do this, instead I say I can do this, which reminds me of the possibilities of my capabilities, and it actually provides me with a positive feeling for the task. The third word is but. So but for me is either an excuse or it comes with the feeling of burden. For instance, if I say that I really want to do this thing but I don't have the required resources, then it limits my thinking of what other resources I could have possibly used, or if there was any other way I could have get the task done. So whenever I use but in that manner, it restricts myself from experiencing, it limits myself from experiencing the kind of possibilities there could have been in terms of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do. The other way, if I say that I want to watch the movies but I have work to do, so in that case also what happens is that but comes as a burden, that I really wanted to watch the movie and it was my desire to watch the movie. I wanted some time off for myself, but I have a lot of work to do, so I cannot do that. So this kind of creates a negative feeling in my brain, and I have stopped using that altogether. So instead of but, I use and, because it makes me think very clearly of the things that I have, the options that I have, and I can weigh in my priorities and work accordingly. For instance, if I say I want to watch the movies and I have work to do, so I'm giving both of them the exact similar priorities, and now I have to decide what exactly I want to do. I want to watch the movies for my self-care and I want to work for my good, for my betterment. So I have to keep both of the things in mind, and I'll try to put them in my schedule, or I'll have to reshuffle my schedule a little bit, a time schedule a little bit, and then I can actually maybe squeeze both of them in that. So that is how it works. When I add and instead of but, it opens a whole new level of possibilities for me. So the fourth very important word that we use very often in our conversation, and it is actually having a very negative impact, is just. So whenever you're using just in your statement, it kind of dilutes the importance of the message that you want to send across. For instance, if I say that I just called to check upon you, and if I say that I called to check upon you, then obviously the second statement is going to make a better impression on you, because it implies that I took out time from my precious schedule because you're important for me and I wanted to know how you are doing. Whereas the first statement shows that I'm a little less caring, or maybe the entire topic is not of that much importance to me. So I just checked upon you, I just called to check upon you. It gives me that kind of feeling. Whereas the other statement, it just sent across the entire message very clearly that you're important for me and I care, so I want to know how you're doing. So I've stopped using just when I am talking to myself, or if I'm doing any other conversation with people around me. I really do not use just. So the fifth word that I want to talk about is almost. I have stopped using almost altogether when I'm talking to myself. Now why? Because almost is kind of, it gives a mid-range emotion to you. It is not a yes, it is not a no, but it is like somewhere in the mid. So it kind of, most of the times, it makes us settle for less. I'll tell you how. So if I say that I'm almost successful, or if I say that I'm almost happy, then it tells my brain that I'm almost around to reach. I'm not at the level of happiness, or I'm not at the level of the success that I want, but I'm almost about to reach there. So many times what my brain perceives is, since we as humans are very much bound to stay in our comfort zone, so when we're using almost, then it gives us the feeling that okay, we are so close to the success, so we will be able to gain the success. But then it kind of makes us settle for less. It kind of pushes us, confines us into that particular set where we are comfortable with being almost successful rather than completely successful. So it doesn't let us reach our full potential, and that is why whenever I'm talking to myself, I never use the term almost. I always use very clear indications about whether I'm successful or I'm not successful, or whether I'm happy or I'm not happy. I give my brain a very clear indication about that. So the sixth word that I want to talk about to avoid when we are doing any kind of self-talk is have. The word have also comes with a lot of compulsion, because for instance, if I say that I have to do this thing, or I have to do my job, I have to be successful, or I have to be happy, then it comes like a compulsion. It compels me to do the things. And compulsion or compelling, it never really works out whenever you want to achieve something good and you want to be positive about that. So instead of using have, I have started using want. So I say I want to do this thing, I want to be successful, and I want to be happy. So in that case, I'm training my mind to be positive about my acts, and it just takes up the task with full enthusiasm, and I'm able to succeed and have a happy mind about it. So seventh and the last word to avoid during any kind of self-talk is can't. So oftentimes we are on a strict schedule or on a strict diet for our own goods, and we use words like I cannot eat potato chips, or I cannot just take out time for a movie. So when we are saying I can't, the word kind of brings a spectrum full of restrictions to us. So it feels like we are restricting ourselves from doing something because we have a good reason about it. Anyways, we are going to do that thing, but it kind of makes us feel very bad about us or very sad about us. So instead of using can't, I have started using don't, because I want to reach the other side of the panel and I want to do good for myself, and I know that if I don't eat potato chips, then it'll be good for me. So I have started using don't rather than can't, because it just fills me with the feeling of responsibility that I have towards myself, and I don't feel helpless or bad about not being able to do something. So these are the 7 words that I totally avoid whenever I'm doing a self-talk. I hope you learned something new, and I really hope that you try using these words and see the difference for yourself. If you like this video, do like it and share it with your friends. Also remember to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more such content and be mindful about your life altogether. If you have any other topic that you would like me to talk about, do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time with another video on mindful vibing. Till then, stay blessed, stay creative, and stay mindful. Bye bye.